If you take a girl out to dinner, you should pay for her meal if you want to get laid. Ultimately, guys, if you like the girl, you gotta pay.
These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do.
Everybody kind of assumes that the guy's going to pay on the first date, and he should.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
I do think men should pay on the first date.
Yes, I know it's 2010, but come on, we all know that the world is not fair and there is no such thing as...
You keep lying when you ought to be truthing.
Be a man. Don't make me pay for half.
You ought to not bet.
Quite naturally, why wouldn't you? That's the man's job, and it's pretty tacky if you go around going Dutch.
Now what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet.
Well, guys, you are supposed to pay. Right, take out your wallet, put down the card, and you're done.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
If you don't have money to go on the date, then you shouldn't ask her out.
Question, tell me how you feel about this. Try to control me, boy, you get dismissed. Pay my own condo and I pay my own bills. Always 50-50 in relationships.
I mean, women are so independent in our society. I'm a perfect example of that. I can support myself, I can support myself, I can support myself.
Gents, if the young lady has the guts to ask you out on a date, the least you could do is fork out some cash.
I don't know how someone controlled you. They bought and sold.
Women, for the first time this year, became the majority of the American workforce. They're starting to dominate lots of professions: doctors, lawyers, bankers, accountants. Over 50% of managers are women these days. And in the 15 professions projected to grow the most in the next decade, all but 2 of them are dominated by women. So the global economy is becoming a place where women are more successful than men, believe it or not.
Money, cash, hold, money, cash, hold, money, cash, hold, money, cash, hold, money.
Women still earn significantly less than men.
Women, young women, were making more money than young men.
Money, cash, hold, money, cash, hold, money, cash, hold, money, cash, hold, money.
So here you have a generation of young women who grow up thinking of themselves as being more powerful earners than the young men around them.
She's the kind of girl you want so much it makes you sorry. Still you don't regret a single day. Ah, girl,
Mama back, get hotter than before, big bang. Whole rank like the late Frank. I does what you can't, I'm everything that you ain't. I'm the belly down, the biggest bitch in the biz.
Defiantly feminist.
You are now liberated. You're free, independent. You know what that means? You pay half now. No more that guy picking up the tab all the time. Because if I make 40 G's and you make 40 G's a year, ain't no way I paying for everything. We are equal. You pay your half. We going Dutch everywhere all the time.
You're so cheap. Cheap? You are cheap.
Have they been cheap on the dates?
They haven't been cheap on the dates, but there's one guy in Hollywood, I won't name names, who picks really bad restaurants. And I'm like, you know what, you need to pick the Ivy, you need to pick Spago, you need to pick Le Cirque in New York. I don't want to hear from you.
It is in these little stories that I see a radical epic being written by women around the world.
And doing everything a man can do.
I think we've demonstrated in pretty much every field that women can do what men can do. But what we have yet to demonstrate is that men can do what women can do.
It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night, I should be sleeping like a log. But when I get home to you, I find the things that you do.
interested in how women are saving us. And what, if anything, do men have to do with it?
I want to encourage people of all nations to unite behind our call to end violence against women.
Step forward in our global efforts to end violence perpetrated against women.
They're leading brave campaigns on violence against women.
So this whole issue of violence against women, obviously it's a problem.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me. 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me. 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me. 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday.
In a civilized society, there is absolutely no room for violence.
I will catch you staring at my breasts, but pretend not to notice. I will assure you that size doesn't matter. I will turn a blind eye to your ever-encroaching baldness. I will watch TV shows where fat, stupid, unattractive men have beautiful wives. I will watch Super Bowl commercials that depict men as emasculated and oppressed, and I will feel so fucking sorry for you.
I cry out to his father, who has forgotten or has ignored we were once married. The father who neglects his son's needs.
But what we do need to be concerned about as a society is the fact that we have a lot of very violent young men out there who participate in gang violence and school shootings. And you know what? Dads need to step up and do chores.
Man up!
And you know what? Teaching boys how to care for dolls is the first step in teaching them how to be good parents.
Well, we now have 30 or 40 years of social science research. 80% of the inmates in prisons were raised by single mothers. About 70% of the runaways of the juvenile delinquents, juvenile murderers, juvenile rapists, raised by single mothers. People play the victim, are exalted in this society, have doors open for them when in fact they're the ones victimizing others. Hollywood, mainstream media, the New York Times, women's magazines, exalting single motherhood.
It's really difficult to think of a teacher these days who hasn't been exposed to feminism and hasn't absorbed some part of the feminist agenda.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Sex is empowering when it's selfish. And you're doing it to seek your own pleasure.
And when I thought about some of the creeps I met, I started to ponder a new question. How low would a guy lower his standards just to hook up with a hot chick? Looks aren't everything, but ladies, come on, let's face it. These are guys we're talking about, and guys don't even try it, okay?
Men think with their dicks.
How many times do we see in the mass media women dressed up as young girls with lollipops and Catholic schoolgirl outfits, just so straight men can live out some disturbing dominator fantasy about corrupting innocence?
I like young penises. I like young penises.
I like young penises.
It's the National Single Cougar Convention. It's a new trend that's sweeping the nation where old ladies f*** young boys.
Younger men are the way to go.
Sexualization turns people into objects and teaches women that their only value comes from their sexual appeal.
A group of women who call themselves Femen have got together and said an excellent way to protest and draw attention to some of their causes, like anti-prostitution and women's rights and wanting democracy, is to go topless. Everything we have is in our mind and body, so we use it in protests. And they're saying, look at Beyonce selling perfume with her body. Yeah. They're saying sex sells perfume and cars, why not political rights?
What allows women to replant trees, to rebuild societies, to lead radical, non-violent movements for social change?
When women go topless, it's frowned upon and causes a commotion. And when
Iraq, everywhere, like such as,
and men do it, it's not. And we're trying to help give some enlightenment to everyone.
I think that there is a cause and effect relationship between pornography and sexual abuse.
Porn is disgusting.
What it does mean is that there are acts of rape, acts of battery, acts of violence against women that would not happen were it not for the effect of pornography on the perpetrator.
Inside of every woman, there's a little Jenna Jameson.
By day, Melissa Peterson and her girlfriends are typical suburban moms. But when their husbands and kids aren't around, they turn into something else.
I love Twilight. I'm a mom.
These three don't just enjoy Twilight, they're borderline obsessed with it in ways that would make their kids blush.
It just makes you just feel so happy, and you just walk around with a smile on your face all the time, it seems like.
They're not alone.
Join the Twilight Mom Club.
Clearly, there is a huge problem with the sexualization of girls and women in the media. But at the end of the day, it's not being generated by young women.
But if it is, more power to them. Having control or feeling power in sexuality, there's nothing wrong with it.